and you need to email to me. This is my email address that you can see on the screen right now. So it's echia@emerald.com. So you can email to me if you need any help later on. Okay. So let's start off with the session today. All right. So what is the objective of today's session? It's definitely to demystify the publishing process, especially in the open access arena, to provide you more information and recommendations, and how to encourage you to write, submit, and get your manuscript published. All right, this will be the main objective of today's session. So it will take approximately about 1.5 hours. All right, I'll leave some time for any Q&A later on. All right, all right. For those who are not familiar with Emerald, I'm going to have some short introduction about Emerald. So Emerald actually is a UK-based publisher, and we are one of the leading publishers who are showcasing research that can make a real impact. All right, if you talk about impact, Emerald talks about real impact. All right, I'll explain this later on. We manage about 300 plus journals and 3,800 books, together with close to 3,000 case studies in our portfolio. All right, we are founded in UK, Bradford, but now we are owned by Cambridge Information Group in the US. Okay. In terms of our researchers, we actually have more than 500,000 authors around the world. All right. And we have over 30 million downloads every year on our platform. Okay. With more than 109 million visitors into our platform every year. Okay. So just to share with you some information on Emerald Publishing's journals, we have 300 plus journals, and you can have a look at the number of journals that have impact factor. We actually have 287 journals which has an impact factor, so it's actually quite high percentage, right? 92% of our journals actually have an impact factor already. One of the top performing journal, of course, with an impact factor of 9.6 is Journal of Research in Interactive Marketing. Okay, and if you talk about number of journals who have more than greater than five impact factor, we have 22 titles. And also in the slides that you can see what are the top 5 journals ranked in JCR for Emerald. Okay. In terms of Scopus, which is very important as well, Scopus is actually one of the main index, I believe, that most of the UPM lecturers will have to comply to if you want to publish. And 97% of our journals are actually ranked in Scopus already. Okay. Moving on. If you want to look for our content in Emerald, definitely you need to come to emerald.com/insight. This is our platform to search all the information on Emerald Publishing, especially what is subscribed by UPM. Okay, just an example. Showing you an example here. So this is the page that you always wants to come on the Emerald Insight page. But if you want to access to Emerald, you always have to go to the UPM library. Okay, I believe you know this. I'm just going to show you a quick one. You always have to go through the UPM library, sign in, and then you look for the online databases. All right, and then when you click on Emerald, you automatically load to this page. Okay, so this is the page that you always search for information, like, for example, marketing just now. All right, once you search on marketing, it will come up on the search results. Okay, all the information here or articles here are fully downloadable and it's being subscribed by UPM. Okay, so you can try on that one later on. All right. So Emerald, why we are called a leading specialist publisher? We are often referred to as a leading specialist publisher because when you mention Emerald Publishing's name to any senior researchers or professors or senior academicians, right, they will say, oh, Emerald, I know. They are one of the leading business and management social sciences publisher. Yes, we are. We are still one of the leading specialist publisher in the area of business and social sciences. And if you look at the subject area that you can see in the slides right now, we have 13 core subject areas, and 9 of them are actually related to the area of management. Okay, We also have subject areas on engineering, where UPM have a faculty there as well. Health and social care, which is covered in the medical area, built environment on the civil engineering area, and also education, right? And also library sciences as well. Okay. So why we are also quite popular and well known is because of our peer reviewing system. All our journals are double blind peer reviewed and is supported by more than 15,000 editorial board members. Okay, double blind peer review means the author would not know who the reviewer is, and the reviewer would not know who the author is. All our journals, we have to practice this standard so that it's more consistent, non-biased, and maintaining the quality. Okay. So publishing with Emerald, definitely is one of the first question. Do you know how much it is to publish with Emerald for APC? So for anyone who has published before with Emerald, you have known already, I'm sure. If you want to publish with Emerald, actually it's free. Okay. But if you want to publish open access in our hybrid and Go journals, you cannot run away from any publisher. You definitely need to pay the APC, or we call it article processing fee. Right? And Emerald adopts a single rate of article processing fee, no matter how high the impact factor or how famous is the journal. Okay, a flat rate of 3,040 pounds per article. And of course, definitely you only have to pay once it's being accepted lah. If you submit, it's still okay. We don't charge you any submission fee. But when you get accepted and you want it to be open access later on, you definitely have to pay the article processing fee. Okay. All right, clear on this? Okay, I also put a disclaimer there. There are some journals in Emerald which is charging a different rate, a lower rate. I'll get to the list to you later on. All right. So where you can publish with us, Emerald actually we publish in 3 areas: journals, books, and case studies. Okay, but today we're just concentrate on the journals area. Okay, if you need to ask me later on books or case studies, please feel free to do so. So 97% of our journals are Scopus Index, all right? 63% ESCI, okay? And it's free to publish, as I mentioned just now. And also there's a flat rate. Oh, sorry, the APC, I put in the wrong number. Is to be 3040, okay? APC is 3040 to publish in any OA article. Books as well is Scopus Index, free to publish. And also if you want open access, we do that as well, but you need to pay a flat fee of 6,000 or 9,000 pounds for the APC. Case studies, we don't have any APC available yet. There's no OA available in case study yet, but it's normal, free to publish as well. So talking about quality, right, in our journals, why our journals is one of the preferred journals in our area, and I believe I would say specifically in Malaysia. A lot of authors actually publish with Emerald. Why? Because 296 out of 311 journals are actually Scopus Index, which is about 97%. Okay, so if you look at it, under Q1 and Q2, 247 is under Q1 and Q2, so quite a high percentage out of 311. Okay, it's almost 80% of our journals is in Q1 and Q2. So the rest are in Q3 and Q4. Okay, so if you're talking about quality, Emerald is actually there on par with other publishers. Just to share with you all, Emerald is actually quite a supporter, quite a big supporter, I would say, on the Sustainable Development Goals from the UN SDGs. Okay, all our research, if you can relate some of your articles or manuscript to the UN SDGs, then I would say this will attract more attention and the chances of getting published will be higher. Okay, so this is one of the things that you can think of if you are thinking of submitting to Emerald. Try and relate some of your research or your manuscript to any of the UN SDGs. Okay. On the other hand, because we are supporting researchers in publishing community in creating the sustainable future through action, we actually walk and do our talk. I mean, we do what we say, right? In the UN SDG, we actually separated out some of the individual goals of Emerald. For example, fairer society, healthier lives, responsible management, quality education for life, and sustainable structure and infrastructures. If you look at the 5 goals that we've created, right, all of them are related at least to 3 UN SDG goals. Okay, so if you have any research related to these 5 areas, so that will be a guideline on what are the SDG goals that's related to. Okay, so in terms of Emerald, we also have books. Sometimes when you search through our platform, you might also see some books available. Yes, because UPM did purchase some of our books before, but not the latest one. All right. If you need the latest one, then you need to inform the library that you need some books access for the area of the book chapters as well. Okay. We have quite a number of books. Only in the business and management area, we have more than 2,500 books already. Okay. Area covered, including accounting, finance, economics, business management and strategy, marketing, HR, organizational studies, public policy, environmental management, all right, tourism and hospitality, transport and engineering. These are all the areas that we've been covered, even in social sciences as well. Education, sociology, all right, cultural studies, criminology, all these books is available in the Emerald platform. Okay. I'm going to skip the awards because I think there are quite a number of awards of the books that we've won in Emerald. Okay, these are just some example. For those who are in the Faculty of Engineering, especially in the civil engineering, ICE is also another platform for you to look for journals where you can publish there. All right. We just acquired ICE about 2 years ago. And in ICE, there are 34 journals. And all the 34 journals are Scopus in index already. And 32 of the journals are already in the Web of Science. Okay. The most famous journal, I would say, in the civil engineering and ICE is the Geotechnical Journal, the flagship journal, which is Geotechnic, with an impact factor of 5.8. Okay, so subject area coverage, as you can see on the right, if you are into the engineering or civil engineering or material sciences, this could be an area where you can publish with Emerald as well. Okay, I'm going to skip some of the books and the case studies. Okay, so coming into the publishing journey. All right. So what you need to do before you even start to select the journal, okay, you need to know the cycle of the journey of the publishing journey, so that when people ask you, oh, what is the stage of your publishing, your article, or is in the peer review system, what is peer review? You need to understand the step by step. Okay, let us go through the steps here. So usually when we do a research, and the yellow part, you start that from the research, then you select a publication on where to publish. All right, once you decided, okay, I want to publish in a journal, right, then you start to write your research. Once you write your research already, you look for a place to submit. Once you've submitted, you go through the peer review. Once you're going through the peer review done, accepted, you go to the publication stage. And after publication, you go to dissemination. Dissemination means sharing. Let's say your article is being published already. You want to share to a lot of people so that you can get more downloads. Okay. Once you get more downloads, then the chances of your article being cited is much more higher. Okay. If you do some dissemination. Okay. And a lot of authors actually stop there already. Once they disseminate, they get high downloads and they get a high citation, then they stop there. But Emerald is going one step further. We would like to ask the authors to think about the impact, the real impact that you're going to create from your research. All right. If you can think of any real impact that you can come up from your research and you put it into your summary or into your article to highlight that area, then it will be much more attractive. Yeah, I would say your paper will be paid attention to, and the editors definitely will look into your paper for accept. Okay. All right. So in Malaysia, what is the publishing landscape? Just some information for you all to see. All this information is provided in the source is the Dimensions AI, a reliable source for publishing. And if you look at the number of publications, right, every year in Malaysia for the last 10 years, I would say, is going up. All right, it's going up. And 2024 actually had a big jump from 42,000 plus to close to 47,000 last year. the number of publications in Malaysia. Okay, in terms of publishers, all right, where are the publishers standing? Right, if you look at the green bar, definitely you can see lah, the highest one definitely is the Elsevier one. Okay, they have close to about 9,000 publications last year, all right, which is quite normal because how many journals does Elsevier have? If anyone knows, a quick guess. Elsevier actually have close to 3,000 plus journals. And if you look at Emerald, how many does Emerald have? 300 plus, right? But the number of publications in Emerald, if you look at the brown color one, every year we are close to 1,000 publications already. Okay, even though we only have 300 plus journals. So this shows you the number of market share that actually Emerald has. Even though we only have 300 journals, but we do have close to 1,000 publications every year. Okay. Something to highlight here, if you notice, for any academicians who are publishing in the orange line, all right, orange line is the MDPI, right? If you look at it, why there's a sharp drop suddenly, going up so high and going down so fast, right? It's because of one of the instructions, I believe, from the MOHE that try not to publish at MDPI, okay, because of some quality issues, right? Okay, enough of that. How about UPM? Looking at yourself, since you guys are from UPM. Number of publications actually going up in the last 10 years, but there was some sharp drop in the last 2 years, 2022 and 2023. All right, 2020 and 2021, you actually had a big jump. I think it's due to COVID that time, quite a big jump. And then the number came back down from 3,000, close to 4,000, down back to 3,200. Okay, but last year, 2024, you guys went back to 3,005 publications each year. Okay, so in terms of publishing landscape for UPM, in terms of publishers, again, Elsevier is on the top, okay, with almost 800 publications last year. And the second one, I think, is Springer Nature, which is about 600 plus publications last year. And in terms of Emerald, where's Emerald? Blue color one, yeah, quite consistent, you see, close to about 80 publications every year. Okay, all right, of course, the sharp drop one is the one that we mentioned just now, right? So why publish? Have you asked yourself why you want to publish, and especially if in an OA environment, okay, open access environment? You need to know, because the different type of motivation actually will also determine which journal that you want to publish that. Okay, so 85% of our authors, right, they say they want to publish because they want to be recognized, 80% just for career advancement, 70% just want to share knowledge, and 50% is to do professional promotion. They just want to publish because of KPI only. Right? There's no right or wrong on which category you are in, but you need to know the motivation behind your publication. Okay, then you have a better understanding of the process. Then you know which journal that you want to target to. Okay, so what types of OA does Emerald have? All right, Emerald have actually 3 types of OAs, which is the green OA, green open access, gold open access, and the platinum, or we sometimes call diamond open access. Okay, what are the differences of these 3 open access types? Okay, the first one, the most common one, which is the green open access policy, or sometimes we call it self-archiving policy. Why our green open access policy is quite well known, or not to say well known, well received by the authors, is because any authors who publish with Emerald, and if you go through the normal publication, which is the free publication, we also provide the green open access policy for you, which is you may deposit your author accepted manuscript at any point to any place that you want to go to. For example, all right, the example of places that you can deposit the green open access of your author's approved manuscript is your institution repository. Let's say if you UPM have any repository you want to deposit your article there, you can, and then you can share it as long as you cannot be made public lah until its official publication lah. Okay, and there's no embargo period. Okay, so these are the areas that you can deposit. Okay, on scholarly collaboration networks as well, SCNs, that have signed up to the STM article sharing principles. All right, but there's a quick highlight here. Emerald does not currently allow sharing on ResearchGate or academia.edu. All right, because they are not signed up to the STM article sharing principles. Okay, but other than that, you can share on any website, your personal company website of the author's approved manuscript. Okay, all right, without the logo one. Okay, so in terms of Go Open Access, I think it's quite straightforward. If let's say you have any funding or research grant that makes your version of your branded publisher PDF, you want to make it freely available. All right, once it's being accepted, and this is the Go Open Access where you need to pay for the article processing fee, okay, APC, and it complies with most of the mandates of funding bodies around the world, okay, and we guarantee that article is made open access or publicly available upon the date of publication. Okay, this is the Go Open Access, which is quite the normal route for Go Open Access as well. You pay for APC, then you go Open Access. There's also fully open access sponsored, or sometimes we refer to diamond or platinum open access. These are, I would say, how do I say, in the layman term, I would say there are no charges to the authors because of the sponsored APC by the organizations or universities that is partnering with us. Okay, I'm going to show you what are these open access on diamond platinum journals as well. Okay, so looking at the journals, how do you select the right journal? All right, a lot of times I think selecting the right journal is one of the headache that a lot of authors will find, because once you select the wrong journal or you didn't select the journal properly, most of the time you get that rejection. Okay, so in Emerald, I think quite a simple area on how you select the journal. All right, when you want to select the journal, actually quite easy lah on Emerald. All right, come back to the home page. I'm going to show you a little bit of the process. Okay, actually, if you want to look for a journal, right? Let's say you want to find any journal within Emerald Publishing, right? Just come back to the platform. Okay, there's a button here that you can see, Publish with Us. All right, just click on Publish with Us. All right, once you click on Publish with Us, you can see when you scroll down, there are sections here. And let's say we want to concentrate on journals. We click on the journals area. And then there's a journal finder here on the right hand side. Okay, click on Find a Journal and scroll down. Okay, it's sorted by A to Z right now. Okay, and if you want to search by keyword, you can, but I always like to use this one, the filter. Right, let's say, for example, I want to filter only on area like accounting and finance, and then I apply. Right, so you will see here the number of journals that's available, right? Some also you can see acceptance rate, right? Impact factor. What is the impact factor? Let's say, for example, I want to show you, I want to compare a few journals. I want Agricultural Finance Review, I want to compare the journal, and I want to compare Accounting Research Journal as well. All right. Once you put these two in, you can actually compare here. Click on the compare button. All right. Once you click on the compare button, let's say these two titles quite similar to your research, and you want to find out which is more suitable. We also tell you what is the acceptance rate, right? 17%, 10%, right? Time to first decision, right? 70 days. This one is 47 days, much shorter. Publication date, time to publication, let's say accepted within 43 days, within 34 days. And impact factor, this one have 1.5, 1.2.4. Site score, Scopus index, 3.7. 5.0. Okay, they also show you the word count. Let's say if you know roughly what is your word count, it's also mentioned here, so don't go over. This is the accepted word count. And the APC charge they will show here as well, 2870, 2870. All right, so how many people have downloaded if you publish that so far in the last 4 months or 5 months? Sorry, it's May already. 5 months. Okay, all right. And if you want to view the journal, you can also view the journal. Open a new tab. Let's say I want to view the agricultural finance review. Okay, scroll down, then you will see what is the aim and scope. Very, very important now, because aims and scope is where you find the areas or topics that they want from the journal. Okay, so if your article or your manuscript is related to any of the topics here, then it's suitable for submission. Okay, this is how you check for the suitability of the journal. All right, index and matrix, make sure it's Scopus Index, I believe UPM. All right, it's all here. And let's say you want to look at the other journal. Same thing, look at the aims and scope. Sorry, see what are they looking for, what are the topics that they want. All right, anything related to here, if it's suitable, you see, UNSCG goes as well. Then this might be a journal that you want to target or shortlist. All right. Okay, this is how you search for journal. All right. So to select your journal, sometimes you also need to ask yourself, what are the important things to you? Is ranking important for you? And if open access, is it a mandate for you that you need to publish an open access or not? All right. Some institutions, they ask you, oh, you can publish anywhere, Scopus Index, right? But some institutions, they also tell, oh, you must publish open access, right? Depends on the faculty or the institution. Please check with the faculty or the institution before you select the journal, all right? So when you're selecting a journal, I think these are the checklists, which is very, very important. You must take note, all right? Like just now, how I do, identify the potential journals. Go to the web page and search for the journal. And then once you've highlighted a few journals, you'll see the aims and scope, all right? Learn about the journals. See the aims and scope, see who the editorial team is, and also read at least 1 or 2 recent issues. Why? Why we ask you to read 1 or 2 issues? For example, let's say I am reading this accounting research journal, right? Very, very interested. I actually can download some sample articles here on the right, or you can click on table of contents, right? Click on table of contents, it will lead you back to our webpage, the platform. Then you will see the latest issue, for example, this issue, right? Then you will see, oh, these are the number of journals, a number of articles published recently, right? You can actually see the latest one. Why? Why we ask you to read the articles. Okay, just hold on. Let me log into my account for a while, then I can show you. Okay. All right. So let's say I select the first one. Right. When I select the first one, I will let you see. All right. Why is it important? Because you can read the abstract, for example, right? You know how people structure their paper, how people write their purpose, right? See the introduction. You can learn a thing or two from the latest articles. All right. Let's say this one. After reading, you go to the next one. Okay. Then you see how people write abstract, what keywords they put in, literature review, what do they do there. All right. You learn a tip or two, definitely one. Okay. So definitely, please learn about the journal, read at least 1 or 2 issues. Okay. Because UPM already subscribes to Emerald, so you can actually access most of the articles there already. All right. Follow guidelines. The checklist, you must always follow the guidelines. All right. Where you can get the guideline. Guideline is available on the web page. For example, I use back this example. Just now we were on the overview. The next button is the guidelines. Right. So please read through before you start. read through what are the things you should be responsible of, what are the key principal issues like AI usage. If you're using any AI, what you can and what you can't do is all mentioned here, right? But the most important part is the guidelines, preparing your manuscript here. When you scroll down, the manuscript requirements, you need to do according to the guidelines, format, title, author details, right? You need to follow strictly, especially on the abstract. Emerald uses, oh, sorry, yeah. Emerald uses a term called structured abstract. Okay, what are structured abstracts? If you look at just now, the article, you see abstract for Emerald. Sorry, I move back up. How do we write the abstract? It's all in point form, right? This is what we call structured abstract. Even in PDF, okay, it's all in point form, quite straightforward. That's why a lot of readers like to use Emerald articles and they like to publish with us. It's quite easy. It's all in point form and it's you won't miss anything. And if you want to know the format on how to write structured abstract, just come to the guidelines. We also teach you how to write an abstract here. Okay, click on the link here. All right, click on the link here. You teach you how to write a structured abstract as well. Why is it important how to write a structured abstract? All right, they give you the tips lah. They give you the tips here. Sorry, I think the mouse, something wrong with my mouse. Okay, so give you the tips here on what to feature in your abstract. Okay, all right. So far, everything okay? Let me see whether there are any questions from the floor. No, right? Haniza ada tak? Ada question tak? Tak ada kan?
Ada one question rasanya. I think bukan question lah. Dia minta share the link of the journal.
Link of the journal.
Yeah.
Link of the journal, I think, okay, let me answer to this first. The link to the journal actually quite a lot lah. All right, I would say, like I mentioned just now, come to the homepage of Emerald, click on Publish with us. There are 300 plus journals, so I cannot share the 300 plus links to you. What I can do is I can just click on Publish in a journal here, find a journal, all right? And then I share this link to you guys here. So when you click on this link, you will find the journal there. But sometimes when you go out from Meet, the Google Meet, the link might be missing, right? So the best way is always come to the Emerald Insight page, click on Publish with us, then you can go to find a journal, then you can find the journal all here already. Okay? Yep. Okay, let me move on. So after the guidelines, what do? You also send an outline to the editor and include a cover letter. All right? Why? You send an outline is because you want to ask the editor. Let's say, for example, send a simple email, maybe a quick summary of your article. What is it related to? What is the methodology? Why is it suitable for your journal? You explain to him lah. All right? And you also include a cover because it's the letter or the email that you're going to send to the editor is also an opportunity to connect with the editor. For example, why you think your manuscript can contribute or there's a unique point that's going to make the journal better, right? Just send an outline to the editor. Quick one. I would say it would only take about 5 to 10 minutes to send an email to the editor. Rather than if you don't do this step, you just submit blindly and you wait and you hope that 2 to 3 months later, they come back and accept. But most of the time, right, why you want to take the risk? Send an email, it will only take about 5 to 10 minutes. And maybe in a few days, they will reply to you saying, hey, Elvin, your manuscript, don't send a manuscript. The article that you mentioned, the topic looks suitable and the research area is what we are looking for. Please submit to our journal. Then at least you are confident to send this email to submit to the journal. All right. How do you get the information from the the editors? Very simple. use back the same example. Maybe this round I try another example. Maybe I try on, wait, let me undo the filter first. Maybe I'll try something on education this time and apply. Okay. Oh, sorry. Maybe I do something different. Something different, which is, let me search this one. This is ArchNet. ArchNet is a built environment journal. All right. Why I want to show you this is because you can see the editorial team here. All right. Overview, guidelines, and the editorial team. Okay. Editor-in-chief, who is that? You can connect to them. Sometimes they also show you regional editors here. So you scroll. Oh, other UPM. All right. And this might be someone that you know, Dr. Nosida Ujang. All right. You might want to email to this person if you want to submit to this journal, for example, and ask, does my manuscript look suitable for your journal? And see what is their reply. Or if you can't find anyone related, right, usually we can also send to the editor-in-chief. All right. So this is how you look for the editorial team members. For example, maybe I try this journal and I look at the editorial team, Professor Dr. James Turner from University of Southampton, Malaysia. All right, maybe you can email to him. For example, just send an email to this Professor Dr. Jason. Say, hi, Professor Jason, I'm Alvin from UPM. I have a manuscript on Asian education focusing on blah, 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 which is quite suitable to your aims and scope. As an example, globalization and regional responses in education. Right? Just send something simple like that to him. See what is the response. All right? Then you will get the reply. If you say yes, then you're confident to submit. If you say no, then you can take this journal out from your shortlist and go for another journal. Okay? All right? So where to find OA journals? Okay, like I mentioned just now, OA journals is all around. Okay? Any journal in Emerald that you want to publish is available in OA. All right. It's just that when you select for submission, you just have to press open access. Okay. But I mentioned just now, there are also certain open access journals, all right, which are sponsored. Do you remember? Okay. You can publish for free at these sponsored journals. All right. Okay. But some does not have impact factor or Scopus index. You have to be very careful. Okay, you have to check all this, because these are, most of them are new journals or existing journals who just partner with Emerald. Okay, and for example, this one, if you see impact factor, this might be a target for you. If you view the journal, so they will tell you this is published on behalf of University of Sao Paulo in Brazil, and they don't charge you any APC because it's a diamond partnership journal. That means this journal is being sponsored by University of the Sao Paulo. All right. What are the topics? They will tell you here. All right. And they publish 4 issues per annum, open access. All right. You can read the latest articles here or top cited articles here. All right. You can just click on it. Very easy. There's no limit. All right. Just click on it. What about other journals? Just now I was focusing on the, I was focusing on the diamond platinum journals, right? So what are the gold fully open access journals? Apply. Okay, this is all the available journals in gold. That means APC lah. All right. Okay. And let me show you something. Some of our journals, let's say you hover your mouse to publish with us here, and you see open research here or open access journals here, depending on you lah. All right. Let's say we'll go to this one first, open access journals. We'll have all the information here that I mentioned just now, green, gold, diamond, open access, and the APCs. Some of you might ask me, what are the APC charges? You might want to click on the APC charges, and you see here, like I mentioned just now, we have updated the website to £3040 per article. And there are also certain journals, like I mentioned, a disclaimer, they only charge you 2,000 or £1,250 for the journals. For example, International Perspective of Health Equity or Quality Education for All, for example, you only charge you 1,250. And the topics here, aims and scope. Okay. And most of these are new journals. Okay. And there's also certain ICE, the civil engineering journals that I mentioned just now. The article processing fee is different. This is 1,250. And the others are like 2009, some are 1,600, 1,800, some even only a few hundred. Yeah, I saw some on Geotechnic. Okay, these are all on open access. Okay. Another part is what is the new fully open access journals. Okay, because it's new, you might want to be careful because it's new. Their impact factor is not there yet, or some are very new. Okay, we are trying to publish this one, but the good thing is the APC is waived for the first year, or until when, like Journal of Transport and Sustainability, we waive the APC, and Global Smart Food Systems, we also waive the APC until 31st of October. All right, so if you submit, if you get accepted before this date, APCs will be waived. Even AI in education. Okay, machine learning, social impact on business research. All right, all these are waived until 1st of July as well. Okay, so those are the places where you can find open access journals. So how do you avoid desk rejection, which is one of the important part as well? You want to publish, definitely you want to avoid the rejection. So in here, a lot of editors or reviewers comment, right? There are a lot of papers out there we are desk rejecting simply because they don't fulfill the journal requirements. They don't even go into the review process. So why is this happening? That means your paper, once you submit, right, the content editor look at it, oh, this one I don't need to pass to another to reviewer. Definitely will reject because they don't fulfill the journal requirements, or I would say the guidelines. Okay, so you don't even get a review comment. So try to avoid this desk rejection, right? So how do you avoid? Definitely you need to identify the right journal. If the journal that you submit to, your manuscript is not even what they are looking for, then definitely they will reject your paper. Okay, so very important, look at the aims and scope. That's the first place that you always look to. Don't care about the title. Sometimes the title might not be related, but the topic that they're looking for is in the aims and scope. Okay, read at least one or two issues, because when you read, you know how people write. Those are the successful cases recently, how they write, how they structure their paper, how they put in some relevance on UN SDG, for example. You will learn a trick or two from reading. There's no escaping, there's no shortcut. So try to read, because it's much more easier because you have subscription to Emerald. So it's much more easier to read the issues that's available. Okay, follow the guidelines. Definitely, you look at the guidelines, requirements of the manuscript. Please follow what they want. Find out where to submit as well. Emerald, they only use Scholar One manuscript, so find out where to submit, and send the outline or abstract to ask the editor whether it's suitable or not for your manuscript to submit there. All right, don't wait for the desk rejection. Try and waste your 5 to 10 minutes time, draft the email, send it out, wait for a few days, maybe in a week, then they will reply. Okay, rather than wait for 2-3 months blindly. Okay, so polishing your work, try to do some polishing of your work, okay, because we find that a lot of authors, right, because they just want to rush and submit, they forget about proofreading, right? Try to do some proofreading on your own, like those incorrect grammar, spelling, right? You have to make sure they are not there. References, make sure they are complete. Okay, don't rely on spelling checker. All right, spelling checker only helps you to check your spelling, but not grammar. Okay, the best way is, I would suggest, right, is to show the draft to someone else, someone who has never looked at it, a very fresh pair of eyes. For example, let's say if I am a good friend of another faculty member in another school, then I will tell them, "Oh, can you come up for a coffee? 10 minutes, 20 minutes of your time." Then you pass him this manuscript and say, "Can you help me to read through to see whether there's any mistakes?" And usually, the person who has never looked at your paper before, right, they will identify some mistakes for you, right? Usually, that's the case. Yourself, you will not identify when you look through it because you've been reading your manuscript for so many times. Definitely, you overlook some of these issues. Okay, try to do some polishing. I mean, it's free. I mean, it's not free lah. You maybe buy your friend or your co-workers a cup of coffee, then a bit of their time. Yeah, just do some proofreading lah. If not, we also have proofreading services, and these services are actually offered to help authors on your manuscript lah. Okay, and I would like to stress that the partner that we are partnering with, Editage, is not owned by Emerald. It's a reliable third party that you need to pay on your own. All right. So Emerald does not benefit from anything, but we find them reliable. That's why we recommend Editage to the any authors who wants to have the manuscript services for proofreading. Okay. So the process. Some of you might ask, "Oh, why is it taking so long?" Don't be fool, or don't have the misconception or misperception on, "Oh, if I publish OA, it'll be faster." No, actually no. Me as a publisher, I can tell you that is any article that comes in, they will still go through the queuing system. It doesn't state that, "Oh, this manuscript comes in later, this manuscript B comes in earlier." This manuscript that comes in later, even though that say that it's going to be open access, it does not jump the queue, right? So it will still go through the queue, right? So a lot of perception says that, "Oh, go for publish open access, it will be faster." Actually, it's not. Just want to clarify, all right? It goes through the same peer reviewing process and the publication process. They only ask you to pay for the article processing fee only upon acceptance. So the whole process in Emerald, it doesn't affect the speed, doesn't affect the quality. And some of you might say, "Oh, I pay, definitely they have to accept my paper." No, not the case. All right. So publication process, I think, is stated quite clearly in the slide here. From submission to acceptance, it takes about 6 to 8 months. Okay, that is just a normal guideline for you all. But I've heard of cases where from submission to acceptance, it takes about 3 months. Yeah, it happens because if you look at the turnaround time, especially in the area of reviewer, right, and assigning reviewers here, 2 to 4 weeks, reviewer given 4 to 8 weeks. If the reviewer accepts after we have given the notice in the first week, then you save 3 to 4 weeks here already. And if the reviewer is a good reviewer, once they receive, right, they don't wait, they straight away review for you in 1 or 2 weeks. Then you save another 6 to 8 weeks here. So 6 to 8 weeks plus another 4 weeks here is 10 weeks. It's about 2 months plus. So in all, right, the submission to acceptance sometimes it only takes 2 to 3 months, right? So depending on the variables lah. Okay. So the process of the peer reviewing, you need to understand as well, because sometimes they will ask you, "Oh, what is the process? What stage?" Then you say, "Oh, now is at the editor stage or the reviewer stage." Okay. So from a submission, normal submission, if you look on the left here, if you pass the, remember the dash rejection, then you go to the editor. If you don't pass, you see it go down. Editor rejects because it does not meet the editorial objective or requirements, the purple box here on the bottom. And if you pass the dash rejection, you go to the editor and they will get 2 to 3 reviewers to review your paper. Once they have reviewed your paper, then they will come back to the editor to see the comments, and the editor makes a decision whether to accept, reject, or revise. Okay, so under the orange box here, I want to stress on the orange box. Sometimes, right, you might get a decision to revise. Don't take it as a bad news because you need to do over again, you need to adjust your manuscript again. Look on the bright side. If they ask you to revise, it means they want your paper, but they want you to change certain aspect of the paper to suit the journal. All right. So you're actually halfway there if you get a revised decision. Okay. So make sure revised decision is good news, not bad news. Okay, just follow the revision and resubmit. Okay, follow the guidelines, follow the acknowledge the editor. Any understanding that you want to clarify, please clarify with the editor as well. Consult with your co-authors if you have any co-authors, all right, and meet the deadline lah. Okay, all right. So if your paper is rejected, right, don't give up. Actually, you don't have to give up, because once you get rejected, usually the reviewers will give you some comments, right? Use those comments to improve your paper so that you can improve and then resubmit when you're ready. Okay, sometimes you can resubmit to the same journal if they ask you to, but if not, sometimes they also might ask you to refer to some of the journals, depending on the editor lah. All right, okay, so don't be afraid of rejection. I can say definitely a lot of authors out there, they get rejected most of the time. Okay, it's just that when you target your journal, target the correct journal, make sure the aims and scope is there. And if there's no any issue with quality, definitely you can get it accepted. All right. So what makes a good paper? Sometimes you might ask, you want to publish at no matter is OA or non-OA. All right. They always look for originality. All right. That's the most important part. Does your paper communicate well, the structure and quality of writing? And do you have any sound logical progression of any argument, references? Make sure it's complete and recent. Make sure your paper has some global focus. For example, what is global focus? What are they looking for? UNSCG is one of the good examples for global focus. Everyone's looking at that one. Okay, and must always follow the scope and aims objectives of the journal. They're also looking for a good title, so sometimes spend some time on a good title. Think of a good title. Use keywords. They also look at the keywords and the abstract. Make sure the abstract is well written. All right. If you are not sure how to write a good abstract, refer to the earlier requirements that I sent to you just now. In the manuscript requirement, they teach you how to write a good abstract. Okay. Okay. Something to share with you all, that this one, I think this was last year. If you look at the date, it's 17th of March 2024. I think last year there was some red flags or some highlights from the Ministry of Higher Education, that we are publishing a lot, but it's just quantity, but no impact. Right? That's why one of the things Emerald is also focusing on, aligned to this one, is we need to think of some impact from your research. All right, don't just publish. Okay. There's also a lot of misconduct in the academic world, especially in certain publishers. For example, there's also one clause that says Malaysia won't pay for researchers to publish in certain journals. I think this one was the Education Ministry direction, and it was passed to all the IPTAs, the public universities. Okay, so those are the journals that, if you look at it, there's one journal there, the MDPI, is mentioned there. That's why you see the number of publications there dropped a lot, because it's an open access publisher. They only want money. They just want to accept your publication, then they publish for you. All right. So try to be careful. We are not encouraged to publish there. And if you want to publish there, the ministry will not sponsor or no longer pay for the publishing costs for all these publishing houses. So yeah, I'm going to skip the books part. All right, I'm going to go to the publishing ethics area. Let me look at the time. Yeah, just nice. It's about half an hour left. Publishing ethics. Please be mindful, and please also read through what are the ethics and integrity part that you need to follow when you publish with any publisher. Also, not just Emerald. Okay, check the ethics and integrity part, what you can do and what you can't do. Okay, because lately there are a lot of cases where there's a lot of plagiarism, there's a lot of ethics that violates the code of the COPE, the Committee on Publication Ethics, and a lot of people are getting quite a backlash from there, getting articles retracted. For example, you see, Sage recently, I think this is early 2024, they have more than 600 articles retracted. Wiley also have another 200 more articles retracted recently, 2025. Right? Some institutions, good institutions, their articles are being retracted because they false the findings, right, or the investigation results, the data lah, I would say, falsification of data. Right? Even the big publisher Elsevier is not spared, right, because they're going to retract more papers already. So that's why be very careful on the research integrity. Try not to violate some of the rules. Even for Emerald, we do retract certain articles. You see this one published 2024 only, quite recently last year. And we already retracted the article because of the integrity issue. All right. So once these articles are retracted, it's still available in our website, but we'll put that it's retracted. So this will be an impact to the author, definitely. If I am the author, definitely I'll be impacted because for future publications, they will look at me, oh, did you follow the ethics or not, for example? The biases will be there, definitely. And sometimes the institution also will be affected as well. All right. So why Emerald is quite strict on research integrity is because of all these issues. Okay. So sharing. Remember, after publication, you need to share. How you share? What are the tips to promote your work, no matter you publish open access or not? All right. You must spread within your network. For example, use your email signature, include the link. Right. Sometimes you might see some professors or lecturers, right? They will put in after their signature, right? Oh, thank you, Elvin Chia. Then below, if you would like to look at some of my recent articles, please click on this link. So usually those links, right, 3 or 4, they'll put the latest publication of themselves, and then they'll put a link there. Once they click on the link, it will lead to your article, right? It is a good tip to promote downloads and to promote people who look at your article, so that if you find it useful, they will cite your article, all right? So how you make your paper more discoverable, right? If you look at it, right, some of the tips that we can mention is try to use a short description of the title containing some keywords. Okay. Second, write a clear and descriptive abstract containing some key main keywords and follow instructions. Third one, provide relevant and known keywords and not jargons. All right. If you look at the first three, what is the main thing or the keyword that's related to? It's the keywords, right? Main keywords, you see, put in main keywords in title, put in main keywords in abstract. Why? Let me show you a very simple example. You go to our platform again. Let's say I search for organizing. Okay, you will see once I search on organizing, right? Where do they highlight? In title, right? The keyword in title. The keyword is in abstract. Title, abstract. Title, abstract. Same thing. Just go for, let's say, sustainability. See, they highlight in the title and the abstract, title, abstract. Yeah. So the algorithm of the websites nowadays, to make your paper more discoverable, but make sure you put in the correct keyword, that always the subject area that of your main area, right? You will know which keywords of yourself lah. Okay. So put in those keywords in the abstract or title, so it will make it more discoverable. Okay. Fourth one, make sure your references are complete and correct. All right. That's why it's important. You know why the references are complete and correct? Let's say, for example, there are 50 of you here, right? Let's say I share an article for you today, my article. Let's say to the 50 of you is related and you want to cite my article. Let's say 50 of you cite my article, for example, 50 of you cite, then maybe 10 get published. So when your article is published, the 10 person that cited my article, I will be notified that, oh, my citation increased by 10, for example. All right. Then as a human being, normally what do? I will go in and see who are the 10 articles. So once I see the 10 articles, right, normal human being as well, what I do next, I will share the article to other people to say, oh, these 10 articles are quite good. I've read it already. They cited my article, and once I read the article, it's quite good and relevant to our teaching or our subject area. I'll forward to my co-authors, for example, or my key research area or authors. Then they also read. So you can see the effect, right? Once you cite it correctly, they will help you to blast to more authors or readers to read and cite in the future. Okay, so try lah. So why publish with Emerald? I think quite. I think it's quite common. I would say not to say common lah. We are one of the reliable publishers who focuses a lot on quality, and also we do support our authors quite a lot, right? And for example, these are just some of my collection of supports that we give out to the authors out there, because it's not easy to publish. I would have to say, I have to acknowledge, it's not easy to publish. But once you get published, right, and if you can get any awards, like for example, Best Paper Award, Outstanding Contribution Award, or Outstanding Reviewer Award, right, we will definitely acknowledge and we go to the institution to support, because we know it's not easy to get published, and if you can get an award, it's much more harder. All right. So we want to continue the motivation so that all the authors who writes with Emerald, they continue to write with Emerald because of the motivation that they get. All right. Okay. So Emerald Awards, I think we do have quite a lot of awards. Like you can have a look at it later on. And we do have our brand ambassadors as well, who focuses on promoting Emerald and why Emerald is one of the important partners in their regions. And I would say Malaysia, we are one of the important partners for quite a lot of authors. Okay. For UPM, actually, you see why I showed UPM is because before I did this, I did some search, and I found that UPM actually have one of the regional editors, which is Dr. Nosida, right? And she's just one of the editors. There are quite a number of editorial advisory board members from UPM, which I can't list all. They are close to 20, but this is as a regional editor, she's one of them in UPM. Okay. So if you're in the area of architectural design or built environment, you can look for this journal and talk to her. Okay. So future information and resources, I would say if you can, try to follow our Facebook. Our Facebook name is Emerald East and Southeast Asia. Why we ask you to follow is because sometimes if you look at some of the posts, right, we post almost quite consistently, like almost every day we'll have some posts there. We'll post which journal is calling for papers, what are the topics, for example. And we also post any journals who are looking for editors. We also post what are the free webinars available. All right. So this might be beneficial to you all. So if you want to know more about Emerald, what are the updates, follow us on the Facebook. All right. Okay. Beyond authorship, I think a lot of our journals are still looking for a lot of reviewers. If you want to look for any related peer reviewing role or contribute to any editor's role, please write to us. Okay. So, yep, question and answer. You have any things that you want to ask? I think that's about all in my slides. Let me see.
This question actually. From Sangeeta, Miss Sangeeta. Good morning, Mr. Alvin.
Yeah.
What is the difference when publishing in Scopus Index and non-Scopus Index? And
Okay.
the second question is there any veterinary journal on this site? I mean, an animal science journal.
Mm,
And from Mr. Haram, is there any medical journal in Emerald? And
mm.
from Miss Rabia, if the paper is rejected on desk review and there are no comments,
Mm.
if all the requirements are fulfilled, what is the reason for rejection? Okay, so there are 4 questions.
Okay. I think the last one, what are the reasons for rejection? I showed it in the slide just now lah. Reasons for rejection, I think, let me see. I think it's here. That's rejection. Then reasons for rejection, yeah. I think quite a number of why they reject is because of this. They didn't follow instructions, they didn't follow the aims and scope, quality, and paper motivation is weak, and insufficient contribution to the field. Right? I guess these are some of the areas which is why they reject most likely. Okay, let me go to the questions one by one. Sorry. Is communication really necessary before submission? It depends. If you think it's not important, then you don't have to do it. Why we're advising you to have a communication with the editor is to check whether your manuscript is suitable or not. All right. So if you think you don't need, then you don't have to do that. Like, it's not compulsory, but we are advising you to do because we want to find out whether the journal looks interested in your paper or not. Okay, so it's up to you. Okay, Laila Wati. Okay, so what is the acceptance rate? I think it depends on the journal, like I mentioned just now. If you go to our platform, when you click on publish with us, all right, we do show the acceptance rate there. For example, find a journal here. Once you find a journal, let's say, for example, I want accounting, accountability, and auditing. You see the acceptance rate is 9.4%. Some is, you see, advances in cement research, 22%. African Journal of Economic and Management Studies, 10%. All right, it depends. It depends on the journal. All right. So let me move on to the next question. Good morning. What is the difference between published in Scopus Index and non-Scopus Index? I would say, Sangita, there's no difference, I would say. But if you look at Scopus Index, right, the non-difference is the process of publication, right? The difference between Scopus Index and non-Scopus Index is the how do I say, the first of all, maybe the waiting time is longer for Scopus Index because once it's Scopus Index, a lot of people want to publish there. Then the queue will get longer. All right. A non-Scopus Index journal, it could be a new journal trying to get its Scopus, but they're trying to get more authorship. All right. I would say a non-Scopus Index publication will attract more submission and also attracts more acceptance rate, the higher acceptance rate. Okay. So if you look at some of the new journals, right, just now, you see, those high acceptance rate, a lot of them are new journals. Okay. Some of them even imperfecta journals, right? See, 16.7%. This is a quite established journal, right? This one no imperfecta, but acceptance rate only 13%. Right? It depends. It totally really depends. Okay. Okay, next. What is the acceptance rate I've done already? Okay. What is there any veterinary journal this site? I mean animal science journal. I think if I'm not mistaken, there's no animal science, I would say, or animal testing articles in Emerald because we are quite strict on our policy. For example, right, just to inform you, our let me show you ethics and integrity. Okay, we have one ethics and integrity area which I can show you. We are quite strict on animal research, unfortunately. Okay, if you look at it, we provide ethical statement. Yep. Any work submitted without a suitable ethical statement will be returned and not considered. So these are some of the animal. We are protecting the animal, animals in research. But if your article or manuscript, they do go through the compliance with all the animal welfare guidelines and regulations, then it should be fine. Okay, and I would say if you say any animal veterinary sorry, let me just copy and paste the correct word so that I don't get the wrong word. Okay, if you search through our website, right, just put in the veterinary keyword. You see there are 3,000 results here. All right, so depending on what type of veterinary science you're looking for, they do have some of this see, farm animal veterinary, right? We do have. Okay, just have to go through it. All right. Okay, next one. Is there any medical journal? There's no medical journal, but I would say they are health and social care related more to the management side. If you're talking about medical term journal, we don't have. But if you're talking about hold on, if you're talking about journals in the health and social care in management area, yes, we do have quite a lot. All right. I'll go to the filter just to show you. When you go to health and social care, is here. All right. Once I click apply, you'll see some autism journals here, Dole diagnostics here, mental health and intellectual disabilities, drugs, habits, and social policy, auto policy as well. Aging, housing, care and support. All right, healthcare quality, healthcare governance, human rights in healthcare. These are just some of the things. Immigration health, prison health, workplace health management. All right, there are a few more. I think there are a few more pages here. So depending, children's services, criminal psychology. All right, it's not medical, but it's more to related to the health and social care area. Right, even enabling technologies, forensic practice is all here. Okay, right, depends on your area lah. Integrated care also is here. Mental health is here. Mental illness, nutrition and food science, aging, safer communities, adult protection, working with older people is all here. Therapeutic communities. Right. Okay, next. If the paper is rejected, there's review and there's no comments. If all requirements are fulfilled, what is the reason for rejection? Then the aims and scope, most likely, Rabia, sorry, if the paper is rejected on that review and their requirements are fulfilled, what are reasons for rejection? Definitely, I think is the suitability of the manuscript, whether it's what the journal wants or not. All right. If they don't want what is inside your manuscript, then definitely they reject as well. Okay. Next question, I would like to ask, which is more advantageous, green open access or diamond open access? It's different. I mean, green open access, the first advantage is you don't have to pay. It's free, right? Green open access is free. And diamond open access is also free, but some of the journals are not indexed yet because they are quite new journals or partnering journals. Okay. For example, just an example, let me take out all the filter. Okay, and then I go for diamond. Okay, for all the sponsored journals here, some you see there's no impact factor because it's quite new, but some they already achieve impact factor already after joining us for a few years. Like for example, applied computer informatics, 12.3 is quite high. And let me see, yeah, even for this one, Asian Pacific Journal of Innovation and Entrepreneurship, right? Even though they are a partner, but they have 3.9 impact factor already, and it's published for free open access. Okay, you just have to go through the list here and find the journal. So you might find something. We have more than 70 plus journals here, which are sponsored. All right, 70 plus. I would say you definitely will find something suitable here from all the lists here. All right. Okay. You mentioned it's good to have journals that related to the, I think more on that. Okay. For example, right, journals with SDG. Let me show you. Find a journal. Okay, let's see. I want something called sustainability. Okay, this journal. For example, right, once you read through, see they'll look for sustainable development goals. All right. And they also tell you, okay, what is this journal aligned to? Education for all journal. So if you look at education, quality education, reduce inequalities, peace, justice, and strong institution, these are the 3 SDGs that you can relate to in your manuscript. Okay. Another example would be let's say I go for this journal, accounting, auditing, and accountability journal. I always get this wrong. Okay, scroll down, then you will see what are the goals that's aligned to responsible management. No poverty, zero hunger, example, blah, blah, blah. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right, these are the SDGs that is related. And if you want to find out more, you can just click on the responsible management goal here. So you will see some informations lah. All right, some information here. All right, related example, related journal articles. All right, on responsible management. You can read through and see how people write. Right, just for example, PDF. Okay, how people write, how people relate. Let me see if I can find something. Sorry, I'm just scrolling down. Didn't mention here, but definitely in any one of the part when you read it, it's related to SDG. Okay, you can read through how people relate to it. Or maybe in the abstract you mentioned a little bit. Yeah. Okay, depending on how you want to mention it. Okay. Is it acceptable to list myself as a winner when submitting a manuscript and then change the second author? Okay. I think this is not something very common. Usually, when you need to submit, right, you need to determine the order of the authors already. For Emerald, I think we are quite strict on this. We don't want to change because sometimes we don't want it to be a game by certain authors where they say, "Oh, I want to change because I want to be the main one after getting accepted." All right. So try not to lah. All right. I would say so far we don't entertain. All right, unless there are some reasons behind it, then we do it. Okay, but I would say generally, we won't accept any changes after acceptance. Okay, once it's accepted, we will publish as it is as the list of authors. All right. Okay. Try. Please share the link vet journals that I tried, but I can't see. Okay. How can I get journals related to management? Okay, I think you can go to the filter there just now. Okay, just hold on. Publish with us here, find a journal. Related to management, I think a lot lah. You just have to go to the filter here, right? This is the management area. Maybe IT, I don't know. It depends. Operation is also part of management. I'm not sure. Depends on you. So you need to go in and see the filter and go through because there are 300 plus journals here. You can just have a look at it. All right. Okay. On the question whether I can share any vet, I don't think I have anything here, unless, like for example, right, when you see the article, where does it appear? Which journal does it appear? All right. For example, this one is quite old, lah. Right. You see which journal it is. Athlete Proceedings sometimes. This one, New Library World. I think more to library science. New Zealand Vet History of Education Review. Is it? The title is not related to vet, So you have to go through it. I'm not sure which is the area that you're looking for, but you just have to go through it. Okay, like this one, you see, it's small business enterprise development, right? I'm sure in some part they do mention certain things like this. You just have to go to about the journal, all right? And you have to spend some time. There's no direct thing. I would say that's why it's an investment decision. Go to the overview and aims and scope. See what are they looking for. All right. It must be something related. That's why it's being accepted. Okay, because I'm not you, I'm not your area of expertise. So you have to go in and have a look. All right. Okay. Oops. Okay. Any more questions from the floor or anything that you want to ask? Anything I want me to show you again? Anything that I have not answered? No. Okay. If you have, you can also let me know. All right. I mean, Emerald, like I mentioned, right? Let me show you some of the things here. Okay. In Emerald, this is the web page of Emerald, the home page, right? Different. This one is the platform to search for contents which you can access to all the journals. Here is to get more information about the journal. Let's say you always go to, you want to know more about the how-to guides. There's also here. I can show you here on the how-to guides. It has a lot of free information here. Let's say you are not familiar, right? The how-to guides is very good. All right. How do you use Harvard referencing system? Because Emerald uses Harvard referencing system, right? How do you publish a step by step? Okay. How do you structure your journal? How do you write a literature review? For example, I get a lot of questions on this one. How do you write literature review? They tell you how. All right. What are the things that you could focus on? Okay. These are a lot of information that go through. How to write an abstract just now. How to proofread. Okay. For non-native speakers, what is the general guidance and resources? It's all here. All right. Policy, writing a book proposal, converting your thesis into a book also can. All right. So get more information on this area, how to guides. Here is the find a journal, and also this is another information, call for papers. Call for papers is a good area where you can get more information on the latest trends or topics that might not be in the AIMSOP scope. All right. For example, now you see AI in sports business. Okay. Under the Sport Business and Management and International Journal. Guest editors, who are they? You get a lot of topics here. Just have to read through quite a lot. Right? And if you want to filter, also can. Filter by subject area, filter by SCG. Let's say you just want quality education. And then you apply. You see which are they related to quality in education. You see here, AI in information system is published in online information review. Right? These are some of the things you can go to. Right? The find a journal part is quite useful, I would say. Find a journal here, there are more than 400 journals. So if you go through everything, it's 400 plus, quite a lot. Okay. So another easier part is explore our contents. Let's say if you want to look for a journal title listing, right? For example, okay, scroll down here. Yeah. Okay. You can actually, I share with you the link here. I share with you all the link here. And then you can actually download the title listings here. Once you click on download, okay, then you can see, okay, wait for it to open now, the list of journals in our subject area. All is here. For example, let's say, I think I saw a question just now. I saw a question on if my topic is entrepreneurship in dentistry, can I publish in journals on entrepreneurship only or education journals? It depends, lor. For example, right, entrepreneurship, then you just have to go to the, okay, let's say for example, what's the title listing just now? Entrepreneurship is more to business and management. Okay, let's say I just filter here. Then as I scroll down, right, scroll down, entrepreneurship, let's say, okay, this one, Journal of Entrepreneurship, Behavior and Research. There's a link here, click on the link. You'll go straight to the journal homepage. Okay, scroll down, you'll see about the journal. Okay, Then once you go in, you see what is the aims and scope. Okay, new venture creation, management development, whether it's, see, entrepreneurship education is here as well, psychology, entrepreneurship. So these are the things that they're looking for, right? So if it's related to what you have, then this could be a target for you. And index metrics is 10.2, quite high, right? This is the editorial board. This is the guideline. Editorial board, let me see any Malaysia. Let me see. Sometimes quite a lot. I can't remember all. Right? Let me see if I can see any Malaysian here. No, don't see any. Don't have. Okay, this journal don't have. All right, but don't be afraid. If the aims and scope is what you're looking for, it could be a target for you. Okay, this is one way to look for it. Right? Okay. Okay, title listing is here. Okay. Any more questions? Let me see what I can show you. Okay, if you want to know more about publish open access, right, there's some information here. So I'll click copy the link. So we are routes to open access, topics. Okay. What else? Okay, you want to look at the, just now there was a question on UNSCG, right? So these are the goals that you can go to, our goals. Okay, like Fairer Society, for example. They will tell you why we choose this and what we are looking for. There is even some videos for you to see. All right, so just have a look at it. Related journals, call for papers as well. Okay, let's say I want smart sustainable structures. Same thing. You can see call for papers, all right, opinions and blogs on the right hand side here. And your publishing team, let's say you have any questions, you can always get in touch with them. Find out how we're doing. Okay, if we look at the some highlights from us grown the percentage of content from 29% to 32 in 2024, right? So most of our contents, right, 32% in 2024 we related to any goals already, right? You can read about this. This one I share with you because I know there's a question just now on how to relate UNSDG. This might be a link that you can go to, right? Most of the articles need payment to be read. Is there any way to access them for free? I think you need to refer to the library. Sometimes the library, right, they don't know what are the titles that you're looking for. So if you want to publish at those journals, right, maybe you can refer to the library, get them to subscribe, then it's free. Okay. Based on your experience, can you foresee future impact research topics, excluding, yeah, of course. Foresee the future impact research topics, excluding AI. Yeah, I think yes, definitely. Because if you look at the call for papers just now, right, I can show you again. Call for papers here. In the call for papers, right, you can see what are the things or latest trends that's coming up, right? Innovative trends, challenges, it's all here. So even digital, yeah, metamorphosis, metaverse, these are all topics that comes up. Okay, so have a look at the special issues. Right? You get more information from there as well. Okay. All right. Before we end, actually, I do have something for you all here. If you can get your phone ready, you actually provide a certificate of attendance from Emerald. So what you need to do is you get your smartphone and you download this QR code. You scan the QR code, then you'll be diverted into a registration link. So make sure you put in your name, your email address correctly. Then we will send the certificate to you. I think quite fast, in less than a few minutes time. Okay, I leave this screen on for 1 minute for you to capture. Okay. Sorry ya, Tanisa. I baru nampak. You asked me to hide the thing.
Okay.
Usually when I present, I concentrate lah. Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, so semua orang, have you all tried to scan? Just key in your name, your email address, institution. I think there are a few more questions. Just click on it and you submit it. Once you submit it, you check your email inbox. You should receive the certificate already. Okay. For anyone who has successfully received, it would be good if you can just put in a quick comment in the chat box so that we know lah that it's okay, it's working. Ada tak? Anyone dapat? Anyone got the certificate already? Oh, got ah. I see a thumbs up.
Already got the
Oh, okay. Good. All right.
You can
So-
share the URL in the chat box, maybe.
This URL.
Yeah.
Okay, may can also. Okay. All right. Should I put personal email or student email? Depend lah. You make sure the email address is correct lah, and your name. Yeah. Okay. So let's move on. Just one more. This is another QR code. Actually, if you scan this QR code, it will lead you directly to all our brochures and title listings, right? In case you missed out on the title listing just now, right? So you can get the list of journals that we have, even some books information, and even some ICE publishing. If there's any engineering, civil engineering students here, it's good because ICE is really focusing on that area. Okay, you can take a picture of this, and you can scan later on. All right. Or I can provide the link. SketchUp. Maybe I can provide the link. Just hold on. I have to not share first. Then I get the information. Okay, just give me 1 minute. I'll share with you.
Please, can I take the picture for the last?
Wait, I'm giving you the link here as well. So if you click on the link, you should get the. Yeah. Okay. If you didn't manage to take this screen, it's okay because I shared the link in the chat box.
Okay, we will also email
Thank you.
the QR to all the participants.
Yeah, can. Later I'll do it.
No, we also will email to them.
Oh, okay, can. Mhm.
We already screenshot the QR. If
Oh, okay,
participants
good.
can get
Good.
the
This
QR.
one lah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Alright.
So I also put in the link lah, in case
Mhm.
they can't find it here. It's here. Okay. All right. Okay. So moving on, I think this is one of my last few slides already, and if let's say after you go back today or after the session you have any questions you want to ask me and you're too shy to ask right now, it's okay. All right, you can contact me via my email address here, echat@emerald.com. You can send an email to me, and if I can help, I will help. If not, I will refer you to any person that can assist you. Okay, so like I said, we support meaningful and real world impact, not just downloads and citation. So if you can concentrate on certain real impacts, right, it will be a good point for your manuscript. Okay, just a quick tip. Right, thank you. So I pass the floor back to Anisa.
Okay, so thank you, Mr. Alvin, for your sharing. If there are no further questions, we move on to the next session, which is the lucky draw session.
Ooh.
So participants, all of you already fill up the registration form or not?
Someone raise a hand. No? No? Okay, yeah.
Dah boleh ke? Sorry. Okay. Okay, hi everyone. So we moving on to our lucky draw session. So give us 1 minute to get the wheel of names ready. So can everyone see in your screen the wheel of names? Okay. So for this session, we will pick 6 lucky winners. 6 lucky winners. So we'll begin with our first winner. Let's see who is the first winner for the session. Congratulations to Shamala Devi Shanmugam. Okay, so this is our first winner, Miss Shamala Devi Shanmugam. Congratulations. Okay, next winner. Let's pick our second winner. Congratulations, Nur Azlina Ahmad. So Miss Nur Azlina Ahmad is our second winner. Okay. Moving on to the next lucky winner. Our third winner is congratulations, Muhammad Ibrahim Panwa. Muhammad Ibrahim Panwa. Congratulations. Next. Congratulations, Rosita Nadia Hirfiana. This is our fourth winner, Rosita Nadia Hirfiana. We have 2 more winners. So let's see who is the fifth winner. Congratulations, Mohiuddin Zia. Again, congratulations, Mohiuddin Zia, our fifth winner. So we have 1 more winner for today. Let's see who is the sixth or our final winner. Congratulations, Onoja Benedict Ono. Congratulations. This is our final winner for today. So to all 6 lucky winners, congratulations once again. We will contact you after this to arrange your winning prize. So thank you so much everyone for joining in, for staying until end of this session. I guess that's all for today. If you have any questions, any thoughts, please contact us, the Serials Librarian. We'll get in touch with you. We will respond to you and get back to you accordingly.
Yeah.
I guess that's all. Thanks
Publish
again,
with
Mr. Alvin.
Emerald.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Before we end our session, okay, congratulations to all our winners. Organizing committee will contact you after the event. Okay, for photo session, before we wrap up today's webinar, let us create a lasting memory by taking a virtual group photo. Since this is our last webinar for this Open Science Man, so we kindly request that everyone to turn on your cameras if possible and share your brightest smile. Okay, we will take a few moments to ensure everyone is ready. Open your camera.
Shy. A lot of people shy.
Give your biggest smile. Okay, everyone is ready? Not yet. Okay dah. Alright. Okay. Let's count together. 3, 2, 1, smile.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay,
All right.
so
Good luck in your publication. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
okay,
Alright.
I appreciate your cooperation in completing the
Thank you
attendance
very much.
in the chat box. Digital certificate from UPM will be sent to the email address provided in the form. So thank you all for joining today's webinar. I hope you found the discussion as interesting as I did.
Very
And
important.
thank you to our speaker, Mr. Alvin, for sharing his expertise and insights. Your knowledge has truly enhanced our understanding of publishing in open access, and we truly appreciate your valuable contribution. So once again, thank you all for your time and participation. Wishing you success as you put these new insights into action. Stay safe and take care. Assalamualaikum, eh?
Waalaikumsalam.
Warahmatullah.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
See you again. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Onoja.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dr. Onoza, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations, Onoja.
Siva.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Yes. Siba, thank you. Abang, thank you.
Yeah, Onoja.
Yeah. Abdurrahman, thank you.